For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Welcome to another edition of the Focus program. My name is Paul Dingeman. Glad to have you along. Lots of things happening here at the end of April and the beginning of May. One of those things is an election coming up on the 7th, Tuesday, the 7th of May, and it's regarding the East China School District. We are fortunate to have three sets of parents, not sets, but three parents of children from the whole district. Let's start down the end and meet Jeremy Baker. Nice to meet you, sir. Welcome to the Focus set. And coming back, have you been on before, Maureen?
I have not, no.
Your father has been on 150
Yes.
times.
He's a regular.
He's a regular. And Dr. Ross, nice to see you. You've been on before.
I have.
Long time when you first came to town.
That's right.
Let's talk about an election day, which has gotten lots of action on social media, lots of action in public meetings, lots of action at school board meetings. Let's talk about what it is basically, and what your thoughts are as parents. Jeremy, let's start with you.
Well, the May 7th vote is mainly about a proposal to determine how we're going to consolidate the school district right now.
So it's you were very positive about that in saying how, not if.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
You know, the proposal is whether we're going to build a new campus and combine middle school and high school, and as well as do needed technology and safety and other upgrades to the remaining schools that do not close.
Okay, you have how many students in the district?
I have three students.
Three, okay, wow.
An 8-year-old at Pine River, a 13-year-old at the St. Clair Middle School, and a 15-year-old at St. Clair High School.
Wonderful, and you still don't have any gray hair.
Yeah. None that you can see on camera, I suppose.
And a few more years you'll start to get some
Right.
gray hair. Maureen, you've been in the district for a long time. You went to St. Clair High School.
I did. I graduated from St. Clair High School a long time ago.
A couple years ago. How many students do you have?
I have 3 in the district.
Okay, and where are they?
Currently, I have 2 at Eddy, a 3rd grader and a 5th grader, and then my oldest is an 8th grader at St. Clair Middle School.
Okay.
So
What-
next year I'll have one in each elementary, middle, and high school.
Oh, that'll be fun. Lots of needs there.
Yes.
Talk to me about your thoughts about what is happening with this proposal.
Yeah, you know, I look at the proposal as a way for us to invest in our community.
Okay.
You know, upgrading technology, the buildings, you know, bringing us into the 21st century. You know, offering different programs that our kids don't have access to right now. So.
Okay. Dr. Ross, you are a physician with Ascension River District Hospital and family practice there. But you graduated from Marine City High School, and I
That's
was
true.
told 1995.
That is correct.
Isn't that
Wow,
wonderful?
Wow, you got your facts right. Yeah.
Wow, once in a great while. And then you went on to University of Michigan, and you have students in the
I
district
do.
too.
I have 2. I have a 3rd grader at Palms Elementary and a 7th grader at Marine City Middle School.
Okay. So you are a real Mariner. You've been for a long
That's true,
while.
yeah.
Does the proposed consolidation affect you? Are you upset about that?
Yeah, you know, when this was discussed a few years ago, right? Possible consolidation, and that didn't go very far, I think.
Right.
So I think when I first heard about it, you know, it was kind of unsettling maybe and something to take in. But once I've learned more of the facts and understood the state of our current school district and what's happening right now, it really seems like the only way forward.
They've had a great number of public meetings, haven't they? Public hearings, or not hearings, but information sessions.
There have been, all kinds of different, the superintendent has spoken at Palms way back in January, and then several different community events and public.
And there's been people who've raised good questions about why can't you use the old buildings, et cetera, et cetera. And do you feel those questions have been answered?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Even the FAQ on the district's website is very informative.
Okay, so talk to me about that in case I haven't seen that. What is that?
Sure. So, they put together a frequently asked questions document with a lot of the common things that have been heard throughout the district on social media and at these planning meetings. And they have laid out all of the information to answer those questions. So, everything as far as where the money's going, how to calculate the impact on you.
Oh, okay.
Lots of tax information. And then a breakdown for each school to show what upgrades are going to be done, for each of the elementary schools, for example, as well as the plan for the new campus.
So people can go to eastchinaschooldistrict.org, I think, or
.us.
And there's an information page there,
There
which
is.
will answer lots of questions in case they didn't know anything about some of these things.
There's a link to go right to the bond information. It'll take you right so you can look at the FAQ. You can also look through the presentation that's been done at all of these meetings. And I believe there's also an interview with Suzanne
There is.
On the website as well.
Okay. Jeremy, what affects you the most on this?
I think for me, it's the programming potential. If we really are in too many buildings for the enrollment we have. That was a big aha moment for me because I actually saw some of the schools that we were compared to in the state, and one happened to be my high school that I went to on the west side of the state before we moved over here. So I was very familiar with what that should feel like. And the fact that we have as many buildings as we have at this enrollment, it really became a point for me that, okay, I can understand how our finances are really strapped with bricks and mortar, basically at this point. So I think freeing up that cash flow, if you will, by right sizing and creating an efficiency there with the consolidation is really what opens up the opportunity for programming, and that's what I hope we'll see is that we'll see improved programming because I have two of my children that will be directly impacted to that, and I don't see any reason not to do our best at righting the ship a little bit and giving them the best opportunity to take the best education.
One of the things I think that has been pleasing for me to see is the involvement of so many people in this project. A lot of times in bond issues or in elections, you get a small group of core people that are for something or against something, but this seems to have been a wider acceptance. Talk to me.
Yeah, the district started really doing their homework and looking into things a couple of years ago when that bond didn't pass to do some upgrades to our technology. They wanted to figure out why this didn't pass and what are our needs and how are we going to move forward. And so, they started creating committees and groups to really dive into it and got some outside help to help us understand what the state of our district is and what it should be based on our enrollment. So
Okay.
they've really done their homework.
Okay, go ahead.
I think the bond, it impacts the community more than just the parents and the kids that are going to these schools. Having a thriving school district, attracts new people to come to the area. And there's sort of this revitalization going on in the community right now, both in St. Clair and Marine City, that having this new district, these new buildings is going to complement all of that. So it really does impact all of us, as far as, jobs and housing prices. And, this is going to give us a leg up on, our surrounding, neighbors as far as attracting new people and then retaining the people that we currently have in the district.
Pretty exciting stuff.
Absolutely.
Any final thoughts?
No, just as you were saying that, I was thinking about I was at a meeting today with a gentleman who knew this area a little bit, but didn't know about what was going on with regard to, even St. Clair Inn, and he actually, was proposed to his wife out here at Palmer Park, and so he was hearing about St. Clair Inn, and then we had a discussion about the bond, and it was really kind of lighting in his eyes that he'd seen Marine City recently and how that's changed and how St. Clair is changing and tying in the school district as sort of meeting the rest of the community involvement and improvements. And he really has a positive view of what this area is going to turn into, and the school district changing with the towns is really a key component of that.
Anything else? Any final thoughts?
I think just to encourage people to visit the website, East
Yep.
China's website, research.
You're going to get the exact facts there. I
Yeah,
suppose.
research that,
There's a lot of
be
information.
informed, for the decision that you make on May 7th.
Okay. So the election is coming up May the 7th. It is a Tuesday. The polls will be open in all of your municipalities and in your townships. So make sure you just go to your normal polling place, and that's where you will vote. And there's only one item on the ballot, so it won't take you very long. And if you want to do absentee, the clerks I've talked to in Marine City and St. Clair say they're getting lots of absentee ballots, which is something new this year. You can get them much easier than you used to in the past. So May 7th, that's the final date that you've got to vote. But go on the East China Education webpage, East China School District.us. Okay, I'll get that straight. But it'll come up on Google or whatever, and all the information is there for you to take a look at. So do that. Coming up next, we've got Paul Wagner from one of the radio stations down in Detroit, and he's bringing a soprano with him, and we're going to talk to them about a concert that's coming up real soon here in St. Clair. We'll be right back. We are back, and we want you to take a calendar and do what I just did and write down May 19th, because there is a wonderful performance coming to the city of St. Clair. Welcome back to Mr. Dave Wagner.
Hello
Nice
again.
to see you. Welcome. Nice to see you, sir. And you brought along Angela, pronounce the last one. Tice, just like it's supposed to sound. You two are going to be here on the 19th of May at 6 o'clock at the First United Methodist Church. David, you've been here before.
Yes,
and
but yeah.
They let you come back.
They
That's
let
wonderful.
me, isn't that something? And this time I have the pleasure of working with a terrific singer, Angela Tice, and she's performed with Michigan Opera Theater and with the 4th Street Chorale and Chamber Orchestra, and she's going to sing a program that people will not want to miss.
Okay. And the tickets are only $20, $40 for family students, or $5. And it's all part of the St. Clair Cultural Series, which has been going on for numbers of years now through the auspices of Mr. One Paul Schaefer. He's here with us today. How is everything with Dave Wagner before we get started?
Things are great. Really pleased to be able to continue with classical music on WRCJ. And that also gives me the opportunity to work with people like Angela and to be involved in the community. And, the program that we're going to do, I think it's going to be a lot of fun for everyone, because there's going to be opera, there's going to be sacred music, there's going to be Broadway and popular songs. So it's going to be very accessible, and we'll be telling little stories about the music too.
Okay. Angela, talk to me about you. Talk to me about how you got started in music and then becoming a soprano.
Wow. Well, I had an uncle, kind of like you,
Uh-oh.
who
Troublemaker?
troublemaker. Used to tease me a lot. My mom's one of 7, 5 brothers, and for Christmas Eve we would all gather at our great uncle's
marvelous,
house,
marvelous.
and we would have to put on a show for our relatives. So we sang Sound of Music, and we would sing 40s songs that my grandpa would introduce us to, and we would just go with the flow. And so I got my start just performing for my family on
Isn't that
Christmas
wonderful?
Eve. Yeah, and then just grew up singing at church, and high school and in college I decided to be a music major, and then it just led to one thing after another. I thought, here my hobby is turning into my career.
I read in your bio that you studied at University of Notre Dame.
That's true.
And did you sing in that beautiful basilica?
I did. Every Sunday I sang in the
Upstairs there.
Yes, in the loft, the Notre Dame Liturgical Choir, and I
Right.
was a cantor as well there.
Oh, gorgeous place. Gorgeous place. Been there many times for numbers of weddings of my friends that were there, and the sound in there is just wonderful, isn't it?
And they got a new organ too.
Did they?
Yeah.
That cost a bundle.
Yeah.
$2.
David, speaking of Notre Dame, you had the opportunity of going to Notre Dame. And talk to us about that experience now that
Oh,
the
wow.
fire.
It was wonderful. We were there in 2004 with the Madonna University Chorale and sang at Notre Dame. And just the other day, I was able to find the pictures. We'd taken a number of pictures. And I was seated at the organ at Notre Dame.
Oh.
You know, after the fire, the most amazing thing, the organist there, Olivier Latry, posted that not only was the organ not damaged, but it did not actually receive a drop of water.
Wow.
So the organ in the back is fine. The organ downstairs, in the main part of the cathedral, was also not destroyed because there was so much woodwork above the organ. They doused it with water, so that instrument didn't burn either. So it's a miracle.
Yeah.
Both of those
Yeah.
instruments survived.
Yeah. And when you performed there with the Madonna College Choir,
Yes, yes.
1 day, 2 days, one
We were
performance?
there for a Sunday Mass, and then afterwards, almost 60 years to the day, we sang at Omaha Beach.
Oh,
so
my
it
God.
was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And you know, to be in those sort of sacred spaces where there's 800 years, 900 years, 1,000 years of musical tradition is pretty overwhelming.
Right.
It's a great experience. And all of these musical experiences, I think, enrich all of our lives. Angela was talking about the great experience at Notre Dame, and the places that she sung. And I hope that both of us can bring our enthusiasm for music to the concert we're going to have here.
So your performance is going to
19th.
start at 6 o'clock,
6 o'clock.
On the 19th at the First United Methodist Church, top of the hill. And you have the agenda sort of laid out, or the
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll be
not
playing.
agenda, but
Yeah, the program we're going to be. I'm going to be playing some transcriptions on the organ. In fact, music that was not intended for the organ, but you know, so many people were introduced to a lot of symphonic music through municipal organists. Every big city had an organist and an organ. Detroit had it at the DIA. There's a big pipe organ there, and so I'll be playing some music by Edvard Grieg and some music by Johann Sebastian Bach, transcriptions. And then Angela's going to be singing some opera. You're going to be doing some Broadway. We should mention some of the things that Julie's singing.
Yes, a tune from My Fair Lady.
oh, wonderful.
And a Gershwin number, and something from The Music Man.
Wow, that's great stuff. What we look forward to. Angela, you brought along some music, and Peter in the control room is going to start playing that. Talk to me about the number that we're listening to.
It's one of the most famous opera arias of all time. It's by Puccini, and it's called O mio babbino caro. And
Oh,
it's a
say that again.
O mio babbino caro, which means "Oh, my dearest daddy." And it's from the opera Gianni Schicchi by Puccini, as I said, and it will be featured on our concert.
David or Peter, give us a little more music on that. We'll listen for a second or two here. Well, that's quite a preview and a tease, right?
Yes,
To
yes.
make sure that people come on the 19th of May. Tickets are only $20 individually or $40 for a family. Students are $5 at the door. David, Angela, we're glad you're coming back, and glad you're coming, and glad you're coming. You're going to Carnegie Hall. Tell me about that.
I am. I'm going on Father's Day, June 16th, as a soloist to perform 2 works, Poulenc's Gloria and a Requiem for the Living by a modern living composer, Dan Forrest.
Exciting.
It is.
Exciting.
It'll be my debut.
Have you been to the building yet?
I have, only as an audience member, seen great artists, and I'm just so humbled to be able to sing there in June.
And you're gonna do well. You'll do
Thank
very
you.
well. But you're giving the city of St. Clair and our surrounding area a preview of that performance when you come on the 19th. David, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Seeing you.
Thank
Very
you,
nice
Paul.
to have met you.
Thank you.
We'll be back with our next guest in just a second. And we are back, and there's a very important dinner coming up just around the corner, May 6th.
May 6th.
Oh, the day before the election.
It is.
Wow, you guys did that right. Joining me now here on the set is Mr. Curtis McBride, well-known CPA and raconteur and all-around good guy from Marine City Scholarship Foundation. This is really an important thing to you for numbers of reasons. Your dad was so instrumental in getting it started. How many years ago?
1986, I believe, was the first year that we started. Of course, I wasn't involved in 1986.
No.
I would have only
no.
been 7 years old at the time, but
Right.
my father started it, and we still have two of our original members, I believe, on our board.
Mr. Scheel?
Dave Scheel and Marge Gunther.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, so now we've established that this is the Marine City Scholarship Fund. What is that?
Well, the primary purpose of the Marine City Scholarship Fund is to raise funds for scholarships for Marine City high school students as well as Cardinal Mooney students who live in Marine City. And new this year that we're really excited about is Riverview East students are now eligible for our scholarships.
Good. That's super. And the program has given away a lot of money over the years.
That's right. So far, we've given away about $650,000 since 1986.
$650,000.
That's right.
That's remarkable. How do you raise your money?
Well, our primary fundraiser is actually what I'm here today to talk about. So we have our annual dinner fundraiser, which this year is going to be Monday, May 6th, over at the Marine City Middle School cafeteria. And the important thing for the general public to keep in mind is that it's free of charge.
Did you say free?
Free of charge.
Okay.
So the McBride Manley CPA firm sponsors the event. So to make reservations, you just have to call our office. And the phone number there is 810-765-4095. So just call and make reservations to the McBride Manley CPA firm. And the only thing we do ask is we are a volunteer organization. So bring your checkbook since the dinner is free.
And that's not unusual. I've known some other groups have done that too. So on your table, there'll be a little card there or something for you to fill out.
That's right.
And include a check.
That's exactly right. There'll be envelopes on each table. There will also be places on both sides of the cafeteria to drop off your envelope. And of course, oftentimes people leave their envelopes on the tables, and we always go around after the dinner and the event is over and collect the envelopes.
You've been involved now for quite a number of years, and it's just such a great little charity. Okay, can you talk to me about some of the kids that get their scholarships from you?
Sure. We have an application process. We collect all the applications from Marine City High School, Riverview East, and Cardinal Mooney, and then we evaluate them as a board, and we're focusing on merit and on financial needs. So those are the primary things that we focus on to determine who is eligible for our awards. And we've been very pleased over the last 3 years that we've been able to award all the applicants that we've had over the last few years. We've been able to give them scholarships.
Wow.
So that's great.
Wow. Well, I like it because it's community serving community, and what a great group of people that organized it. The food is always marvelous. The Chartwells provides the food.
That's right. And we also have live entertainment.
Oh, that.
That's right. So this year, the Mariner Drama Club will be performing songs from their performance of Man of La Mancha. So the cool thing about that is their performance is May 3rd and May 4th at the PAC. So Friday, May 3rd, Saturday, May 4th. They'll also be performing some songs from their play at our event on May 6th.
Oh, good. So they'll be fresh off great successes on the boards, as they say, and they'll be happy to entertain your audience. You get a pretty good crowd, don't you?
We do. The last couple of years, we've had in excess of 150 people at our event.
Good, good. Well, it's on a Monday night, May the 6th. There is a couple conflicts with some city council meetings and things along those lines, but outside of that, everybody is welcome. Everybody is gets a meal. It's absolutely free.
Absolutely free.
Only requirement is to call 765-4095 and say you're coming.
That's exactly right. And our event starts the doors open at 6:30 at the Marine City Middle School cafeteria.
Okay, very good. Man of La Mancha, good entertainment, and $649,000. That's just marvelous. And the money keeps coming, so that's great.
That's right. And this year we'll be giving away just over $30,000 to 18 students, 15 students from Marine City High School, 2 students from Carnegie, and 1 student from Riverview East. And like I said, this will be the first student that we've had from Riverview East.
Have they been awarded? Do they know their winners already?
They do.
Okay, so they'll be there and accepting the big checks.
That's right.
Curtis McBride, thanks for all you do in the community.
Thank you, Paul.
Are very active, and this is such a wonderful project. We love to support it every year. That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, I'm Paul Dingeman. See you soon. Good.
Thanks, Paul.
Let me grab that mic off you.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.